What's going on, everybody? So today I want to go over the Sireni kit crumbs that we've gotten earlier today, because I am making this video before the 3.7 beta goes live, which is going to be in a few days. But I want to talk about Sirene's kit prematurely because of the leaks and the crumbs that we've gotten. Now, Sirene's kit, based off of these leaks, is going to be that holy shit must-have kind of unit for most people, and let me explain why. Now, Sirene's kit essentially does two things which do go hand in hand, but regardless, they do two things. Number one, her kit directly buffs the damage of every single main DPS Chrysos heir. This is going to include someone like Phynon, Casterus, Aglaya, Mighty, maybe a Noxa, I don't know, we don't have the full kit yet. But for the core main DPSs of the Chrysos heirs, their damage just got skyrocketed with the existence of Cyrene. But that's not even what I care about. The other thing, which is the same thing basically, but told in a different way, which for me is way more important, is the fact that now team comps with a Chrysos heir DPS and Cyrene have so much more longevity to them, right? Because when it comes to Honkai Star Rail, it's not even power creep that makes your units obsolete after 2 or 3 patches. It's the fact that you have low investment, you don't have the best in slot like cones, the eidolons, and if you do have that and your old team comps are falling behind, you might just be bad at the game. But Cyrene essentially is that premium, combat the power creep and HP inflation and all that kind of stuff unit to keep your Chrysos heir team comps alive as we transition into elation meta, potentially some kind of dot meta on the side as well, follow-up attacks, whatever 4.0 is going to be, it's not going to be the same as the 3.0 meta at all. That means that any low investment team comp from the version 3.0 updates is not going to last that much in 4.0, similarly with what we saw with 2.0 team comps with low investment faring pretty poorly in 3.0 meta. It's going to be a cycle that happens annually, and that basically means that if you're maining Casterus or Phynon, Cyrene, from what it seems like according to these leaks, is in fact that must-have, must-pull unit, which completely changes the meta. Because yes, Cyrene seems overkill right now. Imagine in 3.7 you pair Cyrene with Phynon, right? It's gonna be insane. Before I got Saridra, I was running Phynon with the 3 oldest 5-star harmonies in the game: Bronya, Sparkle, and Renmei, and I was still getting 0 cycle clears in floor 12 of MLC using Phynon, who is E0 S1 mind you. So for a while, Cyrene and Phynon is going to be crazy. Same with the Cyrene and Casterus, right? Cyrene and Mighty. But when you think about it, this is actually a clear sign that we're going to transition away from our current meta, and it's going to be a heavy transition. I hate the idea of fear-mongering, but you might genuinely just miss out if you're maining someone like Casterus or Phynon and you go ahead and skip Cyrene. They're obviously going to make her good, right? A very important character in the story, Alicia variant, right? Obviously, they have to make her, meta relevant. That's kind of like the whole thing with Star Rail, right? Same thing with Phynon and Acheron and all that kind of stuff, right? But it's not even about that. It's just about the sheer amount of value in her kit, which is incredibly high. And it does make sense that 3.7 will have the next must-pull unit, considering arguably the last one we had was back in 3.4 with Phynon. You didn't need any of the units in 3.5 or especially 3.6. I already made a video going over the 3.6 banners. None of them you need. Ironically, the only unit in 3.6 with actual longevity is Permentor Terra, who's free. Evernight, great, but you don't need her. Herda, great, but you don't need her. And of course, Anaxa, great, but you don't need him. And I made a video way back about 3.5 as well. Hycelan's only for Dot, Saridra only for Phynon right now, but you can use her with some other team comps. Cyrene is going to be a unit that most people are probably going to want on their accounts, but I don't have too much else to say about the Cyrene chapter. She is going to be an insane unit. Just to give an idea as to what her kit is kind of like, she has specific buffs that work differently depending on who you're using her with. She can activate all allies' ultimates when she uses her ultimate for the first time, which essentially meaning if you have energy regen and you get her ult going really soon, you can probably shorten the amount of time it takes to get Phynon's ult going off. Now, there's only one downside to Cyrene's kit, and that's going to be the fact that she is not a universal support, right? you really need a Chrysos Air or probably a Memo Sprite on the team, and if you have a Memo Sprite on the team, you'll probably have a Chrysos Air on the team. So she is technically niche, and long term, if you're considering pulling Cyrene on a future rerun and maybe you're like a new player, she's probably going to be a skip. But for now, as current veterans of Honkai Star Rail with all of these Chrysos Air DPSs, Sirene is basically looking like a must pull for almost everybody unanimously. And apparently you can make her a main DPS once you get enough investment in like Eidolons and all that kind of stuff. So if you're a whale, you could go for that. But for the average Honkai Star Rail player who is a, low spender, free to play like me, you're probably going to stick to using her with Finon, or Casters, or Glaya, or Mighty even. I think that's crazy, I'm not going to lie. She has buffs that cater specifically towards Chrysos Air DPSs that are different depending on which Chrysos Air is on the team. But that's about it for this video. I have nothing else to say. If you're considering pulling for the 3.6 banners, then wait until Sirene's kit is leaked in the 3.7 beta before you consider pulling for her or skipping her. But that's about it. I'll see y'all. Goodbye.